James from JR Training, talking to you today about how to calculate the amount of food you need to eat per day. Now, there are two main models that I use with my clients. One of them is calorie based and one of them is portion size based. Basically, there are pros and cons to both. Obviously, with the calories, you then have to work out every day how much you're eating. You have to then look at the value of food, how much of that food you're eating. The downside to that is that packaging is generally 20 to 25% off anyway. When you look at then the other model in terms of amounts of food you need to eat, a lot of that is very much based on guesswork, but also looking at how full you feel after your meals. They both work. They both have, different levels of ability. They both lead to results. It's just how accurate you want to be with those results. So with the calorie counting model, the way I like to do it with my clients is that I will set them a kilocalorie per day target. Now, in order to do this, I take their body weight and I times it by 12. Now, this will give me the calories per day. And I believe it's the body weight in pounds times it by 12. So in order to then work out your proteins, your fats, and your carbs, the three main macronutrient groups, what you need to then do is look at your protein intake. Protein stands for primary importance, the prefix pro. So it's really important for your organs, your general health and well-being that you have a certain amount of protein per day. So in order to calculate that, the best sort of numbers to calculate that is body weight in kilos times it by 2.2, which will give you your grams of protein per day. Now, once you have that, then we have to look at fats and carbohydrates. Now, fats and carbohydrates are on a scale balance. So the more fats you have, the less carbohydrates you have. The more carbohydrates you have, the less fats you have. So it's important to figure out what works for you. Are you someone that needs carbohydrates, or do you feel you function better off of fats? Now, if you're trying to drop body fat, and if you're generally over 20% body fat to begin with, you would want to decrease carbs and increase fats. The reason being is that insulin sensitivity plays a big part in sort of helping you on your journey to losing that body fat. So you can choose your fat amount based on 0.3 to 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. Again, that's kind of up to you where on that scale you are based on whether or not you want more carbohydrates, in which case you'd go 0.3% fat, or if you want more fats compared to carbohydrates, you go to 0.6 grams per pound. Now, the next step is a little bit complicated. What we're going to look at doing is calculating amounts of calories. We're going to work off of calories in order to determine your carbohydrates. So your initial calculation of your body weight in pounds times it by 12 will give you your overall calories per day. So once you have your calories per day, you're then going to work out what the proteins equate to and what the fats equate to. Now, with proteins, you're going to times it by 4. So from your grams of protein per day, you're going to times it by 4. That will give you your amount of calories from protein. Next, we have to look at your fats. So whatever you've chosen for fats, you then need to times it by 9, because 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So whatever that amount then is, so you have the two amounts, you have the protein calories and you have the fat calories. What you're going to do is you're going to add them together. Once you have those both together, you're then going to subtract them from your overall daily calorie intake. And that will give you the amount of calories left over for your carbohydrates, which you would then divide it by 4, because 1 gram of carbohydrate has 4 calories, and that will give you your grams of carbohydrate per day. Now, once you have that value, then you know each day you need to hit X amount of proteins, X amount of fats, X amount of carbs. Once you have that value, it's then important to decide to track how your weight is doing or how your body fat percentage is doing every 2 to 3 to 4 weeks to see the drops in body fat levels. Once you've done your first 4-week period, then I would advise dropping your kilocalories slightly. And this would be from fats and from carbohydrates. Again, up to you how much you balance through. The next model I'm going to talk about is precision nutrition model. Now, the precision nutrition model has kind of worked for a lot of people because it's based off of your palm. So what we're going to do is we're going to use different measurements of your hands to determine how much food you need to eat. So if you're a female, what you're going to do is you're going to take the palm of your hand, so this area here of your hand, as a protein serving. So that's 1 serving of protein. Then you're going to add in a fist of vegetables, so that much vegetables. On top of that, per meal, you're then going to add a thumb of fats. Now this can be oil, this can be butter, this can be nuts, it can be avocado, it can be anything like that. What you would then do is you would have 3 meals per day. You would also then have 2 snacks, and a snack would probably be some form of protein. So a little bit of protein with some fats. Now what this is going to do for you again is over time you're going to drop body fat, because the way the precision nutrition model works is it's a low carbohydrate based diet to begin with. Now as your training volume increases, what you also want to then do is increase your carbohydrates. So as you go through your training program, it's important to look at the total amount of calories you're consuming in order to increase your metabolism. And that's the good thing about precision nutrition, is you're not working downwards, you're actually working from a low position to a high position in terms of calories based on your performance output in the gym. If you're a male, same thing applies. What you're going to do is you're going to use your palm, but the only difference is you're going to have 2 palm-sized servings, and you're going to have 1 fist serving of vegetables, 1 thumb of fats. So you would have 3 main meals like this. Then you would add in your snacks. Now for your snacks as a male, it's better to have more fats and some vegetables. So a typical snack might be, half a cucumber with some nut butter. Really easy, nice and simple, and clean, good quality food. Again, you will probably be in a slight calorie deficit. You will drop body fat. And then as you go through your training program, the idea is to basically give you carbohydrates, allow you to have some carbohydrates in order to build your metabolism, to build that function and that use of those carbohydrates. A lot to take in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write up a very simple sort of fact sheet for you. I'm going to paste it on my Facebook page as well so that you can see this. If you have any questions, feel free to message me directly. I will be able to help you, give you a bit more guidance as to what you should be eating based off of sort of your energy levels, what your training's like, so that we can start getting you the results that you want to achieve and that you need to have. So there we go. That's how you calculate your food.